everyone? It is Big Mike, and this is Big Mike Spotlight, where I put the spotlight on you. Today, I got an amazing guest. He is a entrepreneur, business owner. He doesn't even know it, but he's a motivational speaker, doing big things in the community, very, very active in the community. I'm talking no other than Monroe Nutrition's own. We are Monroe, Jeff Copi.
Okay, talk to my soul then.
What's going on, fam? How you doing today?
Man, blessed to say the less. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. It's finally good to get you on another pod.
Man,
you know, you've been a friend of Beyond the Tracks podcast. And
when was the last time we it was Baker and Hooter, right?
Yeah.
That was on Beyond the Tracks.
Beyond the Tracks podcast.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Thank you for this real quick, this liquid death.
For sure.
It looks like a beer. It looks like an energy drink, but it's just mountain water.
It's just nice, clean mountain water. Man, before we jump into it, let's hit these sponsors real quick. As always, we have Six Blessings Cafe and Catering in Harriman, Tennessee. You can hit up Ruth Neal at 865-466-5811. We have JC Quality Construction. He does everything from the 2x4 to the key to the front door. Mention Big Mike Spotlight, and he will give you 20% off all materials. 20% off all materials. Just mention Big Mike Spotlight. Once again, my brother, my friend, my man, Lloyd Cheatham, he has Cheat Designs. Hit him up at www.cheat-designs.com for all your custom artwork as well as apparel. We got my wife and my number one, Nina's Candles. Check her out on Facebook at Nina's Chic Boutique. Mention Big Mike Spotlight and she will give you 10% off all candles and accessories. So there we go. Let's get into the show, brother.
I love that.
Let's get into the show. Yeah, man. So, one of the big questions, I mean, we've had you on the podcast before.
Yep.
We talk a lot about, motivation. We talk about that kind of thing.
Yeah, you had a version of me on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Not the new version.
I want to get into a couple things here on this podcast. I want to get into business, business aspect, as well as like your motivations, what drives you,
absolutely,
things like that. So, one, I'm going to let you start off, just kind of introduce yourself, what you do for the people that may not know you. If you're from Monroe, Michigan, and you don't know Jeff Copi, then you better ask somebody.
Right. Hey, so what's up, everybody? Jeff Copi, Monroe Nutrition, 739 South Monroe Street. Okay, we're right there between our diner and Monroe Florist. We serve healthy shakes, energizing teas. Also, I am a transformation coach, helping people find their inner truest self, the best version of them.
I love that.
We go 21 days at a time, 21 days to 21 days to 21 days. And we're helping you get healthy with not only workouts, but accountability, nutrition, proper good quality supplements, one-on-one coaching. And then also the best part is, we build the relationship together. So, and that's really what I'm focusing on nowadays is transformation. Transformation. And not just
making lifestyle changes.
Correct. And I think the biggest thing is now I'm walking that. For so long, like, bro, for 2 years, like how am I a health coach, but I'm not feeling healthy, right?
Right.
So I had to I had to go within and make some changes, man. And we'll get into it, but yeah, man, just been running every morning. Shout out to my boy Aaron. He's got me into that. Never thought I was gonna be a runner. I'm a runner now.
A runner.
I can say that.
Yeah, I can't say that.
I can't say that.
I'm a walker. I'm a walker and a biker. I am that. So I'm starting.
Hey, I'm not kidding. The first time we went out, I'm thinking like, let's hit Elm Street and back. For people that don't know, that's right over about, I would say maybe a mile and a half. Okay. Elm Street or to the Elm Street and back. And we get down there and he's like, yeah, you want to go left? I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, we go left. It ain't no side street to cut over because we got to go around the whole river. And so I'm like, how about, we end up doing 2.5 miles, man. And I just became it was like from that day on, like I signed the agreement with myself that like I'm doing this, and bro, it's been amazing.
And you're looking good, man.
Thank you, brother.
Your skin is glowing. You got a different vibe about you.
Thank you.
you know, when I talked to you recently at the shop, it's like you can see you got that good positive energy.
Thank you.
Back for a minute. I mean, you've always smiled. You've always you know held a good conversation. But when I seen you last, I was like, he's back.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And like I said, I call you a motivational speaker, whether you want to accept that or not.
I appreciate
because it's like when we do have conversations, like, bro, you don't know how much you motivate me. You motivate people that are in your presence. Sometimes you motivate people just by telling them they look good today or giving them a hug. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So I definitely appreciate that. Let's get into, because, you know, I'm constantly around town pushing, you know, Monroe Nutrition. And it's like all these different nutrition shops that are popping up.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think when I talk to them, they're like, oh, well, you know, does it taste good? And I'm like, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Right? But they're thinking bean sprouts and,
you
know what I'm saying? Greens. All that, and like, oh, they're putting like a little bit of blueberry in with, you know, kale. And it's like, no, man, well, is it good for you? It's like, yeah, it's good for you. Well, what about the teas? Like, I've had some of your tea. It's super sweet and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but it's all healthy shit. It's not sugar. It's not, you know, it's like, it's good stuff for you, but it tastes great. So if you could, man, kind of break down, if you can,
I can.
Herbalife, how that ties in, how you got started with the shop, the purpose actually of the shop, and what you have in the shop. Let's break that down.
Absolutely.
Let's hit that business route.
So first off, like with Herbalife, #1 nutrition company in the world. And when people ask me what's in the products, I say quality.
Okay.
Because a lot of times we see these products and they're on the shelves, and I'm not going to say no names, nothing. I'll let you guys figure that out. But what happens is that these guys put a lot of fillers in there. You know, a lot of these places are only, a lot of these products are only required to put 35% of what's actually in their products on the label. So it gives a lot of room for fillers and additives and BS, right?
Right.
With Herbalife, whatever's on the label, that's what's in the product.
That's what's in the product.
We go through 365 different tests, each canister, and it's 5 levels of testing before it can hit the consumer, right? And we have the top doctors and scientists. You know, we have a Nobel-winning doctor on our board. Okay. You know, so everything's taken care of, right? And at any time, you can test our products, and whatever's in there is going to be in there. So the company takes really good care of us, and that's why we've been around for 40+ years.
I would say Herbalife has been around for, 40 plus years. And I know, like, sometimes I'll hit people up. They're like, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. And as soon as they say that, I go, well, one, obviously you don't know what a pyramid scheme is.
Right.
It's multi-level marketing.
Right.
And yes, sometimes that can look like a pyramid, or sometimes it can look like the sun was circling planets. So, like, it depends on how you look at it, how you work it, what the product is, you know, things like that.
Well, it's cool because we're the only multi-level marketing company that is actually proven in court not to be a pyramid scheme, right?
Okay.
And there's other ones that aren't. There's 100% other ones that aren't. But I'm just saying, like, we did the deal. Like, there was a guy who tried to come after us about 8 years ago or so, and he ended up losing like $1 billion.
Damn.
Yeah. So, you know, and teaches the next guy to come after, you know. So
couple dollars.
Yeah,
lost a couple
exactly.
Dollars.
But you know, and the other thing I like to tell people is, like, okay, like, you know, what do you do? I'm a stocker at Walmart. I'm like, okay, who's your boss? Well, the manager. Okay, who's their boss? Well, the GM. You know, okay, well, who's the GM? Well, then you got the store, you know, or the regional, or, you know, and then you got the. I'm like, draw it out. Like, what is that?
Pyramid. Yeah,
you know?
you have 5,000 employees.
Exactly.
Then you have 400 managers.
Yep.
And then you have 30 execs.
Yep.
And then you have one motherfucker that runs the whole
exactly.
Pyramid.
Yeah, exactly.
Life is a pyramid.
Right.
The eating table is a pyramid.
Facts.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's how you look at it.
Yeah, it's all how you look at it. And you know, there's a lot of false information out there about what we do, but that's okay, because that's what makes us greater, right? It's like, if everyone always told you that you were just perfect all the time, you would have you would just have no ambition to get better, you know?
Right.
So that, like, you know, we love the, you know, the compliments, but every now and then you need that person, you need that thing that's going to tell you that you're not going to make it, because that's that energy boost right there, you know.
You need that one, as what did I think it was Cat Williams said it, if you don't have 10,000 haters, you better step your game up.
Yeah, facts.
So yeah, man, I love it. Can you talk about the affiliations or I shouldn't say lack of, or if there is any affiliations with all of the nutrition shops that are popping up in Monroe and Monroe County and surrounding areas?
Absolutely.
Because, you know, a lot of people see you supporting other stuff and they're like, well, why is he doing that? Like, that's taking away his business.
Right.
So break that down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I will always, I've never been one of those people to not support anything local. Someone can open up next door to me and I might go over there and grab a tea. You know what I'm saying? And the reason that is because I understand that there's no lack, right? A lot of times people focus on lack of customers, lack of money floating around, lack of whatever, product, whatever. But I realize and I'm clear that there's abundance out there and we can all win. And
Facts.
also, my competition isn't these other nutrition clubs. Yeah, we all do the same thing. My competition is the McDonald's right across the street, or the Wendy's, or the, you know.
I got to crack one to that.
Right. So, you know, and it's when you're clear on what it is you want and you're clear on where you want to go, like, people doing the same thing as you, like you can use that as like fuel. Like, all right, let's do this together. Collaboration over competition.
Yes.
You know, but I ain't collaborating with no McDonald's, so they better get that out of here.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, it's you had posted that up not too long ago. Collaboration over competition. I've heard you say that 10,000 times.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know how sometimes you hear things, and then it just takes that one time for you to you've heard it, but now all of a sudden you just heard it a little different.
Yeah, and it hits you.
So you, I can't remember if you said it, maybe Kim said it, somebody else said it.
Kim's got bars, so it might have been Kim.
And I was just like, I started thinking in a whole different direction. Right. And we'll use like Nina's Candles and Nina's Chic Boutique as an example. So I was putting all my time, effort, and energy in promoting these other businesses, getting involved with these other businesses, but I really wasn't doing anything for my wife. Yeah. Right. And she kind of slowed down quite a bit because she's like, you know, everybody's doing candles now. It's so easy to do. You know, she's been doing candles almost 10 years. No, actually over 10 years. Yeah. So she has this stuff down to a science. She's been making candles when you couldn't just run down the street and grab something from Hobby Lobby. You know what I'm saying? And so absolutely. I started thinking about that and I was like, so what? There's so many people doing candles. Yeah. What separates you from the rest of them? Your experience. Right. The people you know. Mm-hmm. The scientific approach that she put towards it. So it's like you have something to offer more than these other people. Just keep doing what you do and do what you love. And I feel like for you, that's kind of the same way. Like you're just doing what you love to do and you happen to be making money from it. Right. So 100%. I think like even I would tell people all the time about you, and tell me if I'm right, wrong, or indifferent, that your gratification comes from your conversations with people, things like that. Yeah. And then you know, the business is almost, and I'm not taking anything away from you. Yeah. You worked your ass off for this business, but the business is almost secondary at this point because people are going to come or they're not. Right.
No, that's facts. I mean, I found out at like 18 that I was a people person, right? Okay. And I tried so hard to be like my friends who weren't. And so I tried like in high school to be that guy that was kind of like walked around with a chip on his shoulder. But then as soon as I would see somebody that was like struggling in any way or somebody that had a little smile on their face, like I would naturally just go to them. So it was probably about 18, 19 years old where I found that gift that God gave me of being able to talk to people. And the only thing that was in my way at the young age is I didn't know who I was and I wasn't clear on that. Okay. So I couldn't be authentic with people. So I started growing, working on myself. Because I was giving people a version of me that wasn't true, right? Okay. Like we see these people that we idolize, and we try to act like them sometimes instead of just being who I am. And so when the shop was opening, I had two rules. And one was everything's no problem. And the second rule was that there's no negativity in here at all. And what that creates is it creates a safe space for people to be who they are.
Okay.
Right? Because a lot of times when hard times come, people try to like buck up and just be something different than what they really are. You know what I'm saying? So, and we've created so many relationships in the shop, and just love. And that's what I thrive off of. Like everybody that comes in there is like just my friend, you know?
Right.
And if you ain't my friend, you gonna be my friend, right? You know? And, so yeah, I mean, it's just a blessing, honestly.
Yeah. And I definitely like, you know, I brag about you all the time because I tell people, you know, yeah, this is my friend Jeff owns that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people are just like, oh, you know everybody, you know. Now, some people will just say that, you know, they'll say, oh, my friend Tino who owns Amaya's, but they don't know Tino. They don't hang out with Tino. They don't even have a conversation. They go there, they shake his hand and say, hey, you know, but that's kind of the small town community.
Yeah.
If you've come in contact with somebody, they're now your friend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But I tell people like, no, like listen, Jeff I consider him a friend.
Yeah.
Because we have conversations.
Yeah.
We, you know, when he's down, he might call me. When I'm down, I'll call him, or, you know, I'll go into the shop. And Dana's almost made it a joke, you know, when I get up and I'm in a bad mood, she'll be like, you need to go see Jeff.
Right.
You know, not for the tea, but just for for that energy, man. So
and no, likewise. I mean, I've shot you a message like, hey man, I ain't seen you in a while, just because your energy when you walk in, you know, is so, it's contagious. And sometimes like even like someone like me needs it. I say that and I feel weird saying that, but like someone like me, you know, that's constantly running off energy needs that energy to fuel off of. And again, yeah, like I've been to your house, you've cooked for me, man, and great food, by the way, so good. Yeah, and
I need an investor, man. I need a food truck or something.
Come on now. But yeah, no, you're a friend that a friend would love to have. Honestly.
I appreciate that.
So thank you.
I appreciate that. And so, you know, you're coming up on. Oh no, you bypassed 2 years now.
Yeah,
that you've had the shop.
2 years was in August.
So okay, so what's different? Or what's the same?
Yeah, man. So. The difference is, like we were talking about, I got caught up at first, man. I'm just going to keep it real and authentic because I believe I can be that and be transparent in this space. So at first I got caught up in transaction, right? How many people can I get in the shop? How many, like, how much money can I make? What's next? When am I going to open up shop number 2, right?
Okay.
So I got caught up in that because I was listening, right? And then what they say comparison's the thief of joy.
Yes.
And I was comparing myself to people that I should not have been comparing myself to, right?
Yes.
Because I prayed that God would open this door right here, and then he opened it, and I was like, all right, now what's next? Instead of just being present in the now. And that's what I can honestly say is just being present and anxious of nothing, and being grateful every single day. You know, and transforming my mind from transactional. I heard this from Stage, so I can't say that I took it, but I took on the philosophy. I transformed my mind from transactional to transformational. So instead of how many people can I get in the shop or to upgrade a combo, I changed it to how many people can I help lose 5 to 10 pounds this month right now? And that's going to change somebody's life. Not the one shake and tea. You investing in them and them investing into themselves and truly helping make a difference at the end of the day.
Right. And that's part of the 21-day challenge that you're doing 21 days at a time? Okay.
Yep. And also, like getting up in the mornings, man. I've been getting up at 4:30. We're out running by like 5:10. And just spending time with God and taking away the electronics, man. Like a lot of times today, not a lot of times, a lot of people are so invested on what's on these devices nowadays. And it's like don't forget, like, you know, nature is healing, right? When we're outside and we're in the grass or we're running or we're feeling like, you know, spend time doing that because you're going to create happiness within your soul.
You know, I love, man, you being a young man compared to me anyway.
You're young.
You know, you old to some folks, but like one of the things that I also just love about you and your presence is one, you're unapologetically Christian. You credit God for everything. I think, you know, that is amazing.
Thank you.
Also, like little things like you said, you know, we are like, it's a technology age. So everybody has their phone in their hand all the time. My son said today, we went out to dinner for my oldest son's birthday and my birthday. And one of the things he said is like, we're all sitting at the table. And he was like, everybody's on their phone.
Yeah.
You know, so we put down the phone, right?
Yeah.
We eat and we're having conversation. And then we all get home and he's the youngest.
Yeah.
And he's actually the one who's sitting on the couch trying to have conversations.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone. Dana's on her phone.
Yeah.
Jordan's on his phone. And he's just like, well, I guess I've lost to the phone again. And I thought about that and I'm like, man, like he's so right. Like me and Dana will be in a room, or me and like 3 other friends will be in a room and we'll all be on our phones. Like we're not even enjoying each other's presence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I love that about you. Like you are very quick to, especially like in the shop, but you're very quick to like put down your phone and be present.
Yeah.
When even if it's, you know, not customers, you know, if just people when they're hanging out or whatever, you are very, very present. So that I definitely appreciate that.
That actually means that means a lot to me. That right there means a lot. Because there's times where I do let the phone win, and so it's something I've been working on, being more present. So thank you so much for.
Yeah, I think I started to track on my phone like how much time I'm using. You know, iPhones, they will track. You've spent 22 minutes on Facebook and you spent 10 minutes on this, and I'm not gonna bullshit you, man. Like I looked at that and I'm like, I was embarrassed.
Yeah,
I was like, this is, you know, I think for the week it might have been like something like 6 hours or something like that. And I was like, let's just say I still want to get on social media. I got to do the shit that I got to do for whatever, but that's at least 4 hours that I could have been out walking. I could have been riding my bike. I could have been building a website. I could, you know, there's so much shit you can do in 4 hours, you know, other than being on the phone.
Right. And you know, like you have multiple businesses. I have a business, we utilize our phone because social media is a great tool to, you know, to promote, to like, it's free marketing, really.
I'm talking about 3 hours on Monopoly, though.
Yeah. And I started catching myself too being like that. Like I'd wake up, the first thing I grabbed was the phone. I haven't even hit my knees. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I got to share this story. I got to. So
for sure. This is the platform, brother. Let's go.
So last week I woke up, and the excitement from coming back from the training that we had in Vegas was starting to wear off just a little bit. My legs were tired from running every day and, you know, working out. And I was kind of like, I'm not saying that you need something to keep you going, but a lot of times in life, we're not tired. We're just uninspired. So like sometimes we need something to keep us inspired, right? And I was thinking about that, and, you know, I got up and I was like, all right, well, let's go run. Not really showing any gratitude. And I'm leaving. I get down the road and I come up to a light, and there's 2 cars there. There's a truck and there's a car facing the other way. And it was 5 a.m. And it was an accident that happened. They just got into the accident. And I pull up and I'm like, oh, geez, like this is what's going on. And then one guy's like, call the police, blah, blah, blah. So I get on the phone with the police. And I'm making sure everybody's okay. And you know, these 2 guys get out the truck. This guy gets out here. I'm checking everybody out. Like I would know what's going on. I'm just making sure ain't no blood, right?
You're not a doctor, but you play one on TV.
That's all that I know. Let's make sure there ain't no blood, right? So I see the front end of this vehicle. It was a sports car smashed, right? This truck is smashed into the pole, right? And I'm getting out and I'm like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And the one kid, I coached him, and he's playing football in college, and he stops for a minute. He looks at the guy. Are you okay? Okay. He has his little brother with him. His little brother's in high school, and he goes, hey, guys, before like the police get here and before the ambulance get here and it gets crowded, do you guys mind if we just take a minute and pray? And it completely it was like something just hit me, and I was like, whoa. Like, And in his prayer, he talked about, thank you, God. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. He showed gratitude. He didn't say, like, you know, figure out a way to fix this or blah, blah, blah. Like, he showed gratitude for the moment. And I said to myself, I said, you couldn't find gratitude because you woke up this morning, but this guy just had his truck destroyed. Wasn't even his fault. And he still found gratitude in the moment. And it just like, it was one of the moments that I'm like, man, like I was being selfish this morning, you know, like,
yeah.
And so but sometimes God will use you and or God, you know, use people to like, just show you, you know, and, yeah, man, just focusing on being grateful. Right.
Yeah. I'll tell you, man, honestly, I battle with that a lot. I battle with, being selfish. I want to be selfish,
which is crazy. I feel like you're not selfish at all.
but I need to be selfish.
Yeah.
I need to pay sometimes more attention to me than everything else. Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get really I get angry, you know, and I don't like being angry at all.
I don't think I'd want to see you.
But
angry.
I'll get like angry. I'll mentally be drained at 7 o'clock in the morning because like I see someone share a post and I'm like, damn, this dude ain't shared one of my posts in like 6 months.
Right.
You know, oh, but you jumping on this, and I'll immediately get angry. I'll get frustrated.
Yeah. Not realizing like this dude's not even thinking about it like that at all.
Right. And so it's like what I've been battling with is because I think it was the last podcast or the podcast before on Beyond the Tracks, we talked about, I don't like to shine. Actually, like I don't like to be in the center. I don't like being the center of attention. I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but I really don't. I'd rather lay back in the cut and help someone win. Yeah. Right. Even if I'm a part of that win, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm a business partner or what have you. I'd much rather be doing that than being the guy out front. But then I also do look at things in a certain situation. That's like, I want my credit too. So how can you be in the background and still want your credit?
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Is it that you don't want to shine, or is that you dim your light so that others will shine around you?
Ooh, I like that.
And a lot of times we do dim our light. Okay. And
that's probably
we
more
tone
like
it down, and we're like, nobody really wants to actually see me do this, or, you know, I could do this, or I could, you know, and it's like, you know, people need what you got, Mike.
I appreciate that.
People need what you got in all aspects, and just being who you are and your energy, like we just talked about, like you need to let your light shine more. You know, and stop dimming it so that others don't feel timid
and
around
I do
you.
like, I compare myself, I always compare myself to the Neptunes, which is Pharrell and Chad. Okay. Right? And everybody knows Pharrell. Everybody. If you know anything about music or movies or what have you, you know Pharrell.
Okay.
Nobody knows Chad. If you're a Neptunes fan, you know Chad. Yeah. But Chad is so much in the background, and I remember someone had asked him one time, well, you know, how do you feel that Pharrell's always in the spotlight? And he held up his wrist and he showed he had a Rolex watch. Yeah. And he said, this is the same one that Pharrell has. Yeah. Like basically just saying like, I have everything that he has. He's just, he wants to be the face. Right. So, but I like the way you say, I think that's probably more realistic, as I do dim my light to let other people shine around me. Yeah. And you're saying I should shine more.
I don't think so. I know so. That you should shine more, because...
Okay, well, shit, this is a podcast about Big Mike now.
Let's go. 100%. Like, I've been around friends that I don't talk about, like, my success or anything because I know it, or, like, what's going on or any of that, because I know it low-key frustrates them a little bit. Okay. Because a lot of them do work, 9-to-5 jobs, but I don't blame them, because I understand that they don't understand. Right. Okay. And so I just I just dim my light, right? Okay. I'm just dimming my light. And then you get around scenarios or whatever, and you're like, let's let this guy, be the face, or let's let this guy be the face right here. I ain't gonna. But it's like, in reality, I'm just hurting somebody that I could have inspired, right? You know what I'm saying? One of my friends said this. He said, you know, if you quit now, if you don't do the deal, if you don't show up as the best version of yourself, whatever it is, I don't feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for the person you could have inspired and you didn't, because you didn't show up. And I'm like,
ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. I think what I am trying to do more so is I know, at least like with my businesses, what I noticed is my joy of nursing.
Yeah.
Right. Spend a lot of times with patients, spend a lot of times with families. I'm inspiring them every day, and I enjoy that. I love that. I love that shine. Right.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not really shining, I'm actually, like you said, I'm making them think about things to help them shine more.
Yeah, you're in a place of domain.
Yeah. And I think, like, if I could really transfer that energy and that vibe into any business avenue that I choose, then I would be super duper on top.
Yeah.
I've already learned, like we talked before on the podcast, I've already learned about my self-sabotage.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of that.
Yeah.
But I talking to you is like always one of those times too. Like I don't see you as, like, when you talk about your business, to me, it's not, I don't feel like you're bragging or anything like that. It's like you're sharing information, and I look at you when you say that and you go, Mike, just look what I've done in this short amount of time. And you can do this too.
Yeah.
And you should be doing this too.
Right.
Right. So it gives me that motivation to go.
And I want to just bounce off of that real quick, because there's a lot of other people who have an idea for a business or have a business, but also have a 9-to-5 at the same time. And what happens is, we know that in our 9-to-5, we'll make X amount of dollars, right? Each hour. So we can show up a little different, because we know, like, all right, I'm getting paid $30 this hour. In our business, we don't, right?
Right.
But what they don't understand is, you might work 50 hours for free, but that 51 hour, you might make $3,000.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And people just have to shift the mindset a little bit to understand that, like, this is a part of it. Like, I'll get paid now, or you won't get paid now. You'll get paid later for the work that you put in now, but it might show up 90 days from now.
Right. And we are a society of instant gratification.
Yes.
Me and you talk about that all the time. And I think that with anything retail, I can see how it's really, really hard for people to go, like you said, shit, I've worked 48 hours already. It's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I've been humping.
Yeah.
I've only sold 3 XYZs and I only sold 2 of these. Like, I'm losing.
Yeah.
But like you said, you keep putting in the work, and then all of a sudden Friday, Saturday hits, and then you just sold 4,000 of these.
Right.
So
exactly.
Yeah, I get how that is. So,
and I'll say this, the hardest part about this, like, about business, about becoming a better person, working on yourself, doing the things that others won't, so you can have the life that others can't. The hardest part for me is that shit gets lonely. After hours, when the lights turn off and the open sign's done, and the blenders are shut off for the night.
Right. Everything's cleaned up,
put away. And that's when you get to work on all the extra stuff. Like, that shit gets lonely. And you see your friends, and they're going home to their significant other, or maybe they have kids, and you see, or maybe they have family in town or whatever, and they're going home and they're enjoying the rest of their day. And I still got 6 hours to put in. And it's like, you don't even have time for a significant other, because you're chasing your path, right?
Right.
But here's the thing I'll say about it. That shit does get lonely. And there's going to be times where you might have to cry. Oh, you'll have to cry sometimes, for sure. But, at the end of every principle is a promise, right?
Okay.
So just keep honoring the principles. Keep showing up. Stay out of your feelings. Feelings don't matter. Keep honoring those principles. I promise you, one day, all that shit's going to pay off.
I love it. And, you know, man, we normally end this show with, you know, giving words of encouragement or motivation or a saying or something.
Yeah.
And I don't think you need to say anything else, brother. You just said all that.
Thank you.
And I'd like to say that it's just something that I've been on, right? And I just realized today before the show where I got it from.
Yeah.
I kept saying, now we need to do everything. Everything is now. No opportunity wasted. And I kept
like that.
telling people, I don't know where I heard that from, but it stuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, I'm trying to, you know how I fell in love with that. So I'm trying to find out. I'm like, I have to find out where the hell I heard this from. But I listened to so many books, so many YouTube videos, and I'm going through like what I call my heavy hitters, my Eric Thomas, my Trent Shelton's, my Gary V's, because those are my hard hitters, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going through and I'm just kind of scanning videos, and of course, it's E.T.
Yeah.
Who you turned me on to.
Yeah.
And
E.T.
I'm like, and the way he says it is, I'm like, this is why it punched me in the heart.
Yeah.
Because he's like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Now. And I'm like, oh shit. I remember getting that feeling. He was like, no opportunity wasted. Do it now. What you waiting on? I'm like, oh shit, he's talking to me.
Yeah.
You know? So yes, Eric Thomas, man, shout out to you, brother. I love you.
Shout out to you, E.T.
I love your motivation, everything that you're doing. And that's where I got that from, people. Now, no opportunity wasted. So
we need that on a shirt.
I was going to put, when you talk to E.T., let him know.
Okay.
I will be making that a shirt.
Okay.
I don't know if he wants
when
to
you
trademark
make it,
that. Or...
Let me know. Let me know. We'll send him the video. We'll shoot the video. We'll send it to him.
We'll hook him up.
And he always hits back. He's the most humble dude I've ever met in my life.
I love it.
Yeah, we'll for sure get that done.
Yeah. So with that being said, man, it's your man's Big Mike. This is Big Mike Spotlight. And today the spotlight was on my friend, my man, Jeff Copi.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. Love you, brother.
Love you, man.
Peace.